So here we are. It's Thursday, October 20th, 2022. I'm Larissa. And said we'll try reading some of the contemporary criticism in this book, Consolation of Philosophy by Boethius. I don't have clear memory of the commentary like I did of the book itself. I did read the commentary, and I seem to remember that I found the commentary annoying. So I think what we'll do is we'll read the first one, and then if I find it too annoying, personally, then I won't read any more of it. And you'll have to buy the book and read it on your own, right? And I've decided that the next book I'm going to read is going to be Steinbeck's To a God Unknown. And this is my favorite Steinbeck novel that I've read. I have not read everything of his. Not everything. But I have read a good portion of, I think the only thing of his that I know of that I haven't read is Grapes of Wrath, which is like the one everybody talks about, Grapes of Wrath. But I've read like everything else. But this is my favorite book, not just my favorite Steinbeck book. This is my favorite book, my favorite work of fiction, it's my absolute favorite work of fiction. And I suspect, I'm going to preface this by saying, I suspect the main character's father was a pathological narcissist. Given the relationship between the brothers, because there are two sets of relationships that are in this book, right? Joseph Wayne, who is the main character, he is an early California settler post-gold rush, right? Comes from the Midwest, he's a farmer. And there's a relationship that he has with his father, and with his brothers, then with his wife, and then with the land, right? With the earth, not just the land, with the earth. It's we'll get there. But the relationship between he and his brothers, and the character of his brothers, makes me think of his father as potentially a pathological narcissist. It's interesting. The psychology that's in it. I'm sure Steinbeck wasn't thinking about that, right? And at the time, I'm sure nobody would have considered the man in that way. It was probably just cultural, but under today's standards, right? Things that were survival are now pathology, right? Anyway, oh my gosh, I got two new bras, and I don't know, I haven't even opened, they're the same, I haven't opened the second one, but it's too small. First of all, see this line, it's I got double booby, and the thing is, I like the way that the bra is designed. It's just not the right size, and it's just the cup, it fits around the back. It's supposed to be a side smoother, and reducer, right? But my boobs are coming out my armpits. And the back fits, the straps are all in the right place and all that jazz. Just the cups aren't big enough. And they don't have, this is the biggest size they had. I need a 36, either double G or an H. They didn't have that. So we'll see. I don't know. They don't have big titty bra shops anywhere, and you order stuff online, and then you can't really return them. I wouldn't feel right returning it. This one, it's moot point. It's been washed twice already now. Oh, my nose is itching already. So anyway, Consolation of Philosophy by Boethius. the book is. We've finished that, and now we're going to try one of the contemporary criticisms. So this is an article about the book. This one is called The Ladder of Knowledge and the Ascent to Wisdom in Boethius's The Consolation of Philosophy. Article is by Mitchell Kalpagian from Wyoming Catholic College. Evil assumes the appearance of injustice in the Consolation of Philosophy as Boethius undergoes, in the manner of classical tragedy, a sudden fall from high to low. A distinguished Roman consul, respected for his vast learning and honored by Theodoric and the Emperor of Constantinople for his public service, a member of an ancient aristocratic family who married into another patrician family, and a father who witnessed the singular honor of his two sons' appointments to the consulship. Boethius finds himself without titles, wealth, honor, or happiness as he awaits his death sentence in prison. His mind in a state of shock, stupor, and despair, Boethius sees no purpose or value to his suffering, a blow caused by the power of blind fortune, whose very nature predicates irrationality, whim, arbitrariness, and justice. In the light of this tragedy, Boethius feels that, as the ancient atomists thought, whirl is king, the forces of chance and chaos rule supreme over law and divine providence. Boethius's confrontation with evil things, physical pain, prison, emotional anguish, for of all the adversities of fortune, the saddest is this, to have once been happy, and intellectual confusion. If the ruler of the universe is in fact good, how can evil exist or go unpunished? In the midst of his grief, Lady Philosophy appears as a physician to heal Boethius' suffering and compose his passions, as she comes as teacher to illuminate his mind and lead him to wisdom. While fickle fortune suddenly topples Boethius from high to low, Lady Philosophy calmly lifts him from the pain of tragedy to the equanimity of wisdom. Boethius' ascent from ignorance to knowledge has at its precedent in the prisoner's escape from the darkness of the cave to the splendor of sunlight in Plato's allegory of the cave. Boethius' journey follows the course that Saint Bonaventure describes in the soul's journey to God. In relation to our position in creation, the universe itself is a ladder by which we can ascend into God. Some created things are vestiges, other images. Some are material, others spiritual. Some are temporal, while others are everlasting. Some are outside us, others within us. Boethius' progression from sensory reactions to contemplative knowledge likewise compares to Dante's travel from the dark forest of his middle age, from the lower realms of the Inferno to the glorious radiance of paradise in the Divine Comedy. Just as Virgil and Beatrice guide Dante from the state of darkness and the ignorance to the fullness of light and truth, Lady Philosophy leads Boethius through the steps of the ladder of knowledge, from memory to reason, and finally, via philosophy, to God. Philosophy's first lesson involves awakening Boethius' memory and leading him to self-knowledge. She criticizes her pupil's exaggeration of fortune's malice and his neglect of fortune's blessings. You know what? I'm not interested in reading this. I've read it, and it is just a book report. It's just a book report. And who cares who this Mitchell asshole is, right? So, I hope you enjoyed The Consolation of Philosophy proper. And if you want to read the educated assholes recap, you can buy the book. So, do a video next, starting with To a God Unknown, my favorite book of all time.